room, starting the 68 Pontiac Firebird, and I thought with this series I would aim the videos more toward a beginning builder and just go through some of the things that guys have been building for a while do, and taking some of what I've learned from you guys on YouTube and what I've learned on my own. I thought I'd go through just some videos on what I do when I'm building a model. And the first thing is I take all my parts and I've washed them in a mild detergent, rinsed them, and let them dry. I also make sure my area is clean from previous builds so I can not get anything mixed up or messed up with sanding dust or anything, so I clean it. And then I make sure I hang my instructions. I look at my instructions and I put them right up there, and then I've got some over here, paints and parts and directions. I always want the directions right out where I can see them, and that's my that's just your basic first step. After that, we got to get into deciding on what to do. And if you follow the directions, it starts off with the engine. Well, any two pieces that are going to be glued together but painted the same color, such as the engine or the seats, anything that's going to have a seam, I like to glue those together with this. That's just the plastic cement, and then I like to get all that stuff laid out. And so, just as a quick demonstration, I just always cut my parts from the tree, and because we're going to be doing a lot of sanding on it. So if I want the engine, and we know we're going to be painting that same color, well, I want these seams to kind of hide. I want this plastic to melt together real well. So I just put a little bit on the edges here, and we'll just put that together and hold it together tight. Sometimes you like to clamp them, put them in a clamp to make sure they'll hold together tight. And sometimes I'll even brush a little bit over the seams that are going to be seen, especially on the transmission. I will just going to brush those because I'll be sanding those, and make sure you get a nice tight fit. So I'll do that with the engine, with the seats. I'll get everything put together and then set it aside to dry. So I've looked at my directions, and I'm just going to glue together these pieces that are going to be the same color. And I've decided to go with the stock version of this, so any extra parts can be used on future builds. Now, a lot of guys like to start on the body first, and I'm a guy who like to get these pieces, fit together So when I get to the painting part and the sanding part and everything, all my pieces are together. I'm not priming separate pieces and then putting them together and then trying to touch up those seams. And there's a lot of different products out there you can use that will hide these seams. Tamiya and other companies put out a nice product. And as always, and I'm not very good at this in the beginning stages, but you test to see if your pieces fit together nicely, and then you glue them. That's always a tip for any builder, is just make sure you test fit pieces. So you make sure they fit together before you go slapping glue on them. I like this cement because it does a nice job of melting the plastic together and allows me to hide those seams as best you can. And it depends on what kind of build you're doing. If you're doing a very detailed build, you want to hide those seams. If you're doing a build where the doors aren't open or anything, where you're not going to see those lower seams down here on these seats, then maybe you just glue them together. So after that, usually those pieces are the main pieces that get glued together. After I get that, well, now I'm going to start on the process of cutting out the trunk and the doors, and that's done with the reverse side, the dull side of the knife, and just dragging it down that groove slowly until you get them all cut out. So I will work on getting the body and the doors and everything cut out and laid out.